Welcome, episode 2, part 2 of investing. Streaming live on Twitch right now. For everybody watching this on YouTube, hello to you as well. But for the people that watch this live, maybe you're investing with me, maybe you're not. And if you are, I wish you all good luck. And if you do the same thing as I do, I wish myself good luck to make us some profits. Well, what we talked last time, what did we talk about last time? We talked about higher highs and higher lows, right? Now I got it. Talking about higher highs, higher lows, I think everyone should be up to date. If you're not, watch my last video. It's still on my YouTube and online on my Twitch as well, so you can watch the whole stream or watch the cut down version. That's, I think, still a bit long. I think it's half an hour, 40 minutes. Watch that if you like. You can skip forward a bit and just skip to the part where I teach about higher high, higher low, lower low, and lower high. It's just for basic understanding that you need when you want to invest. Next up, I've made a kind of plan here, thinking about what I should go over next, which shouldn't be too complicated. I'm thinking about how to use high and lows would be the smartest thing, to be honest, because if I talk about bullish and everything, that's not going to be understandable. Yeah, let's talk about that, to be honest. I made a whole plan here. Let me hold this into the camera. Come on. Why the fuck? How do they do that? Like fucking it's way too bright. Wait a second. Configs. Let me check that out. No. Better. Okay. Let's just do it as standards. Can you now see something? Yes. Now, fuck my life. It's still. Wait. I got a better idea. Let's just take the webcam for a second. And. Oh. Oh no, it cut off. Made it again. There we are. This is the plan I will be going over with you today. Make a screenshot of it if you want to. Hope you can read everything. Okay. And there we are again. Back to the beginning. So for today, I think I might be actually going off USA 500. Let me check where is my favorites list. I think we'll go for Euro USD, to be honest. A very basic forex and very easy to trade for anybody, but not easy in the term of easily understandable, but easy to invest in, because about every broker gives you the ability to invest into currencies, so that should be easy for everybody to follow by on. USA 500 is a little bit more complicated because it's built out of 500 of the most important companies for the USA and how they do, and depending on how much money they make, that's what depends, like what changes the value on the fee that we're looking at. So for Euro versus US dollar, of course, it's the currencies fighting against each other. So let's say we're here in Euro against US, so saying that Euro is worth more than US dollar by 1.08, if you go to US versus Euro, that's of course going to be like 0.09 something. Wait, I can even maybe show you if my broker that I'm using right now, USD. Yeah, my broker doesn't work with USD Euro because it's a European broker. Yeah, as you see here, 0.9184. That's US dollar against euro, because just the dollar in total is worth less than euros. But let's go back to where we've just been, euro against US. Because I'm from Germany, we use euros, not dollars, so we're trying to be beneficial for the euro. So, how to use high and lows. I don't know if everybody took a screenshot of it or if you had the time. If not, I will put it in probably into the video again, or at the end of the video. Oh no, you know what, let me do that right now so everybody understands what I'm talking about. Let me grab my webcam space, make it a bit bigger so everybody can screenshot it or take a better look at it. Let me take the webcam. Just like this. Should be good enough. Like that. I know I'm shaking a bit, but keeping the camera so up high is rather difficult right now. That's the paper I'm going to be using. Freeze the cam right there so you can check it easier. Let's bring it back up again. Perfect. So, if you haven't taken a screenshot now, I can't help you, to be honest. Yes, it's all in English that I've put there, but I mean, if you're watching this stream, you should understand what I've written down there. And now we're back again with the normal webcam. So, as you should have the screenshot in front of you right now, or have it on your phone, I wrote down, markets are still traded by humans. What that means is higher highs, higher lows, lower highs and lower lows are always made by humans. This isn't controlled by machines or anything. This is just what people do to change the market flow. So as we talked about it last stream, there's stars, celebrities, there's politicians, there's just people with any influence into like the whole world that can switch up what the market does. And for that reason, the market is just flowing every second, because of course in every second of time anything can change. I don't know, even Trump could say something racist and the US dollar would still drop. Then Merkel could come out of retirement and tell everybody she hates some race, then euro would drop. It's all just like publicity. So if you check out news daily and if you're just watching what happens in the world, you can sometimes really wait for hard-hitting news. Those hard-hitting news are known for either shooting up one like specific, as I talked about Elon Musk and Tesla, yeah, just shooting up one specific, I'm low braiding right now, one specific future, that's it. Future, not like future and past, future in the sense of futures here. And what that means is just, if you don't look at the news often or don't stay attached to what is happening in the world, you're gonna miss out and sometimes have a misunderstanding for what is happening in the market. So let's say you can see the market go upwards, it's having I don't want to say bullish again so everybody says understands what I mean. it's having just a push into higher numbers, let's say that. Then of course you're gonna think, okay, that's gonna keep on going, I'm waiting for the next low and then trying to invest into it so I can like grab some money off of it. But let's say in that moment you're, I don't know, missing out that politicians are having a meeting and talking about any crisis going on in the world, then you might miss out on something very important, and the market might just drop like into the completely other direction of what you were planning it would go to. So you might be missing out completely and losing all your money that you put into that trade, because that's nothing you can control, nothing the banks can control. That's just something everybody waits for. And if you just attach to that, you can make basically so much money with that, because if you understand one of those signs correctly, you can invest in advance, and then as soon as it happens, you make as much money as you want, to be honest. You can invest 100 euros, you can invest 1,000, sometimes even big brokers invest half of their wallets and just make so much money off of it because they know for sure what is going to happen next. So, as we're going over that, humans look at the charts for usual places to do business. What that means is usual places is things that happen often. Often after a higher like break upwards, we're going to see a downwards push. Of course, that's normal because it can't be that just one company or just one whatever currency pushes upwards. It doesn't happen. You need a push back down, or if you go down the whole time, you need a push back up. Of course, companies can have a rise at some points where they just blow up and have such a good month or something. Like Bitcoin had such a rush upwards from like 20k worth to 78,000. And that, of course, if you invested into that, you made a lot of money off of it. I sadly didn't have too much money on my wallets to invest into it. It was like a few $100, so you can guess like it's not more than like 1,000 or 2,000 euros that you make off of that. But if you had like 1k, you multiplied that by 1,000% easily. And yeah, that's, if you want to make the count, a lot of money. So what I mean by usual places is, of course, we see these red dotted lines, those blue dotted lines. Usual places are often those places that happen and have a sort of scheme going on. Let's say you have a scheme looking like an M form. That's often known as a double high, and those double highs often tend to go upwards with a higher high, go a bit lower, go up again, but not a higher high. That's important. You need a lower high. As soon as you have that lower high, as it goes down again, the next high will not be a high breakpoint. You're waiting for a high that is like close to the last low, and as soon as that happens, you know for a fact, or 90% is a fact, that it's going to rush downwards. And as soon as that happens, most brokers put in money, most banks put in money. That's why it's so boosted that it actually drops so much, because as soon as banks and big brokers with so much money in their wallets invest into just anything, you're lost as a single person. You can't fight against it. You can't do anything about it. If you have like 2 to 3 million you can invest, then of course you can fight up against it and push the market upwards. But let's say for the most people you won't be able to invest that much money, and so you're going to have to follow what the big brokers are doing and what the banks are doing. And that's not meaning or saying that you have to like follow a broker, pay the money just to see what they're doing. What I mean is you have to be able to notice what other people are doing and follow that scheme, because if you don't follow that scheme and if you try to fight against it, you're going to lose in that position. So going up is, to that point, a little like short term I use is BRNs. BRNs are big round numbers. Big round numbers are known for, like, in the German word you say Stich ins Auge, because they just point out so hard. It's just like seeing something shine in a field, or like, I can't find the perfect. For any Warzone player, you've ever had a sniper look at you from another house and you just saw that bling? Yeah, that's what I mean. Big round numbers are often very obvious, and you can actually just understand what they are by looking at the side feed here, or just looking at what the high is saying. Because let's say your last higher high was, I don't know, a whole number below what is shown here. Let's say this is 1.08, the next high is 1.1. So this has pushed by 0.01. Yeah, 0.01. Then you know for sure that that's going to be a breakpoint, and all of that is going to push into low again, because after having such a strong rise, you're going to go down again. Everyone that climbs high falls down. Like, the higher you climb, the further you fall, let's say it like that. And that's the same thing with investing. The higher it goes, the lower it can fall again, because you're never sure of that push staying so far up. Only, as I said before, if it's about news, and then you might be lucky and it stays up there, but you should never invest into such a position and hope for it to stay positive and make you more money in the meantime. That's something you can do with cryptos, that's something you can do with, I don't know, houses, or something that's worth of a time. Let's say an old penny that's from 1950. You can invest into that, like invest your time, but never invest that time into a currency or into some other forex, because you never know what the company is doing, you never know what the country is doing, you never know what politicians are doing, so you can't be 100% sure. So, going to previous highs and lows. Previous highs and lows, as you should now know what highs and lows are after explaining higher highs and lower lows, you will be able to understand the scheme checking what the last higher high was, what the higher low was, and what is just going on currently. So, checking, or trying to make an example, checking out this right here. We've been at a higher high point for, what time was this? 11:06, okay. And we've been at a higher low at 11:25, so about 20 minutes difference. Now, 20 minutes after, we've pushed up not too much, and now that's almost not an hour, but 50 minutes after, we're almost at the higher high again. So this, of course, is a bit hard to check because you don't have explicit higher highs and higher lows, but as you see the dotted lines with the swing I'm using, swing is, wait, let me show you what it's called, indicators, swing, high, low, support and resistance by Pattern Smart. Use that, trust me, use it. 28,000 people are using it already, and I know why, because it's so beneficial, because if your eye doesn't pick up something like this, like a higher high, that just, it doesn't point out too much. Of course, if you go into maybe 10 minutes, okay, 10 minutes costs 15 minutes, you'll understand it better, because you see, oh, okay, this has been higher again, this has been higher again, this has been higher, but this has been lower. Of course, then you can understand, but you don't have the time to do it every, like, 5 seconds. If you check an hour, you will understand it better as well. But that's what I mean, you don't have the time to check every minute. So when you're just working with the 1 minute mark, you want to have this activated, or just any other that gives you a bit of a look into the higher highs and lower lows, or higher lows, lower highs, just to get a little bit of an understanding what the previous high and low was. if you know what the previous high was, you can see, okay, it's gone up from 8851 to 8867 to 8886, so about jumps of 0.00010, if I'm not wrong. Yes, about a little bit more, about 0.15. So, oh wait a second. We might be having a downwards push right here and not even go upwards anymore. Let me open a position. I know this is kind of random to do right now. We'll open a small position, nothing too big, because what I just talked about, why was it? It was closed again, okay. Just automatically closed for some reason. Next try. Appreciate that. Okay. Stop loss, take profits. So, this of course is just a believing point again. This is not something I can tell you for sure to invest all your money in and be rich. But what you can see here, if we just pull it up a bit more, is that maybe we can put it into 5 minutes or something? 3 minutes, okay, yeah, that works out. So, in this whole form, we're having a higher push. That's, do I have a pen here? Yes. We've had a higher push from downwards, like from here going up, reaching our higher high of today, breaking down again to our lowest low for like that break point, and pushing up almost into the higher high again. But what we can notice is at one point we did not actually reach the higher high. It just stopped barely before it. So what oftentimes happens after that breaking point is either it shoots up from here, might be happening. If yes, can't do anything about it, then just banks and brokers are stronger than you. You can't always be sure of anything. But we have a point that is, how can I describe it for, it's a resistance point. Let's call it a resistance point. You will learn about it afterwards, like high rebounds, low rebounds, but before I call them rebounds, let's call them resistance points. Those resistance points will help you understand where the market bounces off from. Sometimes those rebounds are so strong that as soon as the market hits there, it just shoots off into the other direction. I don't know if I had some in this market. If not, we will go back to US 500. Okay, no, I have some here. Okay. You can see in my 1 hour mark, I have some of those blue blocks here. So, as example, this purple line. This purple line indicates that at 1.06001 was such a strong resistance point that since then the market hasn't dropped below this. So, we've had a point where we hit this resistance point, hit it once, hit it twice. After the second hits, it just went upwards and it never hit again. And we've created another resistance point back here. Okay, wait, I think this should be a bit longer, but so we've had a resistance point here, it hits and it's gone up instantly. And oftentimes when the market you see here, that's a perfect example, as it comes down again and hits this like little barrier, I often make them like about 10 to, or not 10, 0.001. So about that this number changes, the third number from the right. make that so big because it needs a little bit of space to work with, because you can't make it just a straight line and hope for that line to be the perfect like point of rebound. The resistance points are often a bit wider, but this resistance point that I've made here has proven once. I don't know if it has already proven twice. Okay, I haven't pulled through any longer with this. Okay, it was not too long ago either. Yeah, 24th of June, not too long ago. But all these lines that I make here are oftentimes just resistance points that haven't been broken through by any other like market time. As you can see here, there are also negative resistance points. So the higher high here has never been broken, the lower high here as well. As soon as it hit the block of the higher high before, it's gone down way more, and with that we've created another resistance point, and here again it's hit the old resistance point and created a new one. And that's how the market pushes down itself. And from there on, that has not been broken since today. Here we've had another higher high creating another resistance point because this has boosted it to it. As you can see here, the resist point gets created as soon as another higher high or lower low is made or has come up. And then it's just a question of time if the market breaks through that resistance point or if it doesn't. As soon as you see it pass by and not break through once or twice, you can be 90 to 95% sure that it's not going to break through again. So as you see a market push upwards, let's say this one here, some people might then put their position up here, but that's of course would have not activated here. But some people also tend to invest their money as soon as they notice the upwards push is slowing down, just because they know for a fact the resistance point here is so strong that at that point, as soon as it hits there, it's going to go down again. But those resistance points, of course, are as well just an indicator and not a for sure like fortune teller that's going to make you rich. As I said, when trading, nothing can make you rich 100%. You just, of course, gotta be able to indicate what is happening and try to tell as good as you can. But for that, you use as many indicators as you can. As you can see here, the market has actually dropped how we wanted it to. Wait, let me put in a short position. This is an indicator I like to use as well. My stop loss is up here. I should have put it lower, like at 20 cents maximum loss. And my win is 39 cents. We can pull it to, let's say, this time rate here. Zoom in a bit more and equal it out with what we have going on here. So of course, some might say this is so much money now. No, I don't know, whatever. But I know it's not much, but it's not the point of getting rich on stream right here. My point is learning with you guys and at the same time teaching a bit until I get good enough to say, okay, I can tell you what to do, and maybe even coach in live calls, live Zoom calls, and maybe teach you what you need to know to start getting an interest into investing yourself. This is not live coaching for do what I do to be rich, but you can do what I do to understand how investing works. So going on over the paper that I've shown you at the start is PHLs, so previous highs and lows that we've talked about before, are trade opportunities. What I mean by that is previous highs and lows are oftentimes those rebound points that we've talked about. Those rebound points are very nice to use for people that want to invest into forexes and currencies, because those currencies oftentimes will rebound from the last lower low or higher high and push into the direction that you need to make profits. It's not a long position, it's not a position that you want to keep going for like multiple hours. As you see here, I could have closed this and made 5 cents. Of course, it's not much, but it would have been profit. But I'm still in the belief that this is not going to push upwards. If it is, there was something happening in the news that I missed. But no, 2 hours ago was the last thing. That's why I like using TradingView as well, because it gives you a bit of like knowledge of what is happening in the media. And here you can see Euro has done something, Euro USD is pushing upwards, Euro and Yen. Oh, Euro is pushed upwards even more from there as well. And there you can read a little article about what is going on. Kind of useful, not the best of course, so if you're just gonna be watching those news, you're not gonna be prepared for everything, because those news are just, they're meh, let's call it that. They're decent of course, but they're not the best thing to look at. I would recommend checking for any websites, news website. There's specific websites for traders to look at, and there you see like everything coming in seconds of time. Of course, some you have to pay, but some are free, some have free trials, and I would use whatever you prefer. Just check around a bit, look around, and just look what you like more. So, going over this, what was my last point? Right, PHLs, previous highs and lows. Looking at that, oh, what the hell is happening here now? I think I've missed something in the news then. I definitely have. Okay, so, wait. Let me check the news. I personally, it's a German website, use Aktienworld. I can link it in the chat if you guys like. Wait, let me just do that right now. Oh, I'm still not connected to chat. Oh, fuck this. I hate using Streamlabs sometimes. Then let me log into Twitch real quick so I can put this into the chat. So this is the website that I use. And I should have used it right now. Maybe I would have noticed something. Yeah, 4 minutes ago. Okay. So, but this does not make any sense right now. The news are saying the euro is crashing, or Germany is crashing. Okay, I know euro is not just German. We have to check all the countries that use the euro, of course, but or just okay. The biggest news of right now are the NATO are building a new headquarter in Germany, and that might be the push that has broken up right now, because that was 4 minutes ago. Would be fitting in time, I think. 4 minutes ago is 29:28. Yep. Okay, that's what I mean with being active on news, because if you're not, you might miss out on big opportunities. And I missed my third screen. Wait, let me just put this here below this. Okay, so now the question is of if it's going to push even further or if it's going to drop down again. That's something we cannot be sure about now, but wait a second. But we might indicate it by what I talked about before, our... Wait, where did we just jump to? Ah, okay. By our resistance points, that's what I meant. But as I can see here, there's no strong resistance points. I mean, there is one back here, but it has been broken through 3 times, so it's not too sure to be a resistance point. It might be a little bit of a resistance, but I don't think it's going to go down instantly. Tough, that's really tough. I had a rush down here yesterday, was it? Yesterday? Yes, yesterday. Pushing up from there, this was the start of today. Rushing upwards with the news. Might either be a daily new or like a weekly new high we're going for here, or we might be breaking downwards from the high from yesterday. It really seems to me that we're not going to go further upwards from here, but let's leave that be for a second and not instantly invest again, because that's one thing you have to learn when investing. Patience is a virtue. If you don't have patience, if you just invest, you're gambling. I can't say it often enough. There's so many things you can do wrong when investing that it doesn't or that it turns into gambling, that it isn't investing anymore. So what we will go through as long as we wait for the market to give us a clear understanding of what is happening. Wait, let me put an alarm here. Alarm for swing to this, and an alarm for this. So now I put an alarm for swing here. That means if it, as soon as it just swings up there, as soon as it like just touches this point, I get an alarm. And here I've made an alarm for as soon as it actually breaks through this point. So not just a swing, it actually has to go into that negative. So I can maybe check something else in the meantime. Let's maybe go for something. No single stocks. Okay. German 40. Oi, oi, oi. Germany's doing great, I see. Oh, but I think. Wait a second. We might have checked at the perfect time. Almost. This really seems. This seems like it's going to drop. This does not seem healthy for upwards push. Oftentimes you can also indicate if it goes up or if it goes down by just looking at how it went up the past few hours or how it went down, because if it pushes up like really confidently, let's say it goes up for a good 5 minutes, then it just comes down for 1 and goes up again for the same time, and just has a constant push upwards. Let's say it goes up by 10, down by 2, up by 10, down by 2, up by 10, down by 2. Then you can for sure say that's a constant and strong push. If it goes up by 10, then down by 2, then up by 5, then down by 4, that it just equals out oftentimes, then you can be sure 100% that that will be a strong push going on. That's what I mean here. We've gone up from 18702.8 to 18716, or no, 720 down to 18704. So that's a jump by not even full, for 4 points, about 4.4, with a push upwards of almost like 18.4. You know what I mean? That's like you're going up so high and going down so far again. So I feel like this push upwards was just way too strong. It was just profit. One little loss here, more profit, and an area of interest. Area of interest, we've talked about it last time, creates itself by the Maxwell Suits indicator and shows where an area of interest for investing is if you want to invest into selling that area of interest is red. So you're going to open a sell position, hoping for it to go down. The other area of interest is green. That's for a buying position, hoping for it to go upwards. But it's of course never sure. You can see here it pushes up a little bit more as well. But that's let's see if it breaks through here. That area of interest is bullshit, I guess. But if it doesn't break through, we might have a swing around into the other direction. As long as that is happening, let me explain why we like to look at previous highs and lows. There's usually, I say usually for a certain point because it's not always, a lot of stops. Oh wait, we've had an alarm for, oh, we're going to the negative. Well, you see, news can save it sometimes, and then it oftentimes goes back down again. Take this away. So we've had not just a swing, we've had a full-on breakthrough into the negative. The question now is if we will get to the resistance point and go back up again, or if we will break through that resistance point and hit lower numbers. In case, I'll just put in a buy position here, because this will be our resistance points. Stop loss O. It's going down hard. Wait, anything new in the news? Check. Europa, what are you doing right now? Anything interesting? Great Britain has nothing to do with what I need right now. They're using their pounds, not euros. Oh, okay. Olaf Scholz, German by the way, failed to he tried to get immigrants out of Germany and failed. Sometimes I just love the news by just how they make fun of politicians. Oh? How much are we in right now? 1566. We've made 66 cents profit from starting in episode 1. Of course we made the like 20 cents of loss just like 10 minutes ago because of this here. But oh, come on, give me the resistance point. Give it to me. Don't fuck me over, please. Okay, as soon as that happens, I will be notified, of course. Let's go back to the Germany 40 that we've been at before. Oh, the area of interest actually held through, so we can open up here, go into selling, position, not enough funds. Ah, what the fuck is that? Ah, well, shit. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, the market is at 80,755. I should have looked at that. Well, that of course is a little bit of a negative point when you're using lower amounts of money. You can't invest into every position there is, because some are just worth too much, because 0.01 of 18,758 is more than still our capital. So that happens. Man kann gleich sich laufen lassen. Gibt eine Bekopplung, wusste nicht, wie ich aufs Englisch schreiben sollte, aber ist nur ein Tipp, was mir aufgefallen ist. Profit is profit. Ja, warte, ich guck mal. Warte, ich höre mir das mal selber an. Ah, okay, ich merke, was du meinst. Die Webcam sollte eigentlich nicht aufnehmen. Warte, ich mach sie mal an und wieder aus. Ist es jetzt besser? Okay, jetzt habe ich sie aber auch, glaube ich, komplett. Oh, jetzt ist es besser. Ja, jetzt ist es besser. Okay, perfekt. Ja, das ist. Ich habe die jetzt komplett neu. Die macht manchmal ein bisschen Faxen. Die hat komplett gestern mein PC hochgenommen. Sag ich ehrlich, die hat mich wirklich komplett zerstört. Also, das war. Ich habe versucht, Valorant zu streamen. Ich konnte nichts machen. Ich wollte Rocket League öffnen, einfach ganzes Spiel ist abgestürzt. Ja, und das einfach alles nur, weil die Webcam nicht richtig laufen wollte. Aber egal. Dankeschön, Dankeschön. Warte mal, passiert jetzt eigentlich gerade hier in unserem Euro-USD? Ach komm schon. Wieso hat die Position denn hier nicht geöffnet? Wenn du mir jetzt wieder sagst, dass ich um 0,01 hier verfehlt habe, dann weine ich hier aber. Dann sieht man Tränen on Stream. Nee, es hat perfekt gehittet. Was ist das denn? Why the fuck? Hat die Position nicht geöffnet. Ja, manchmal liebe ich das System auch einfach. Wer weiß, vielleicht kommt es jetzt noch weiter runter und ich hatte eigentlich Glück, dass es nicht geöffnet hat und das sollte ein Weckruf sein, die Position eigentlich wegzunehmen. Aber hey, man kann ja auch Hoffnung haben. Ja, egal. Weiter auf Englisch. Sorry. I started talking German for just... Okay, this is pissing me off right now. As you can see here, my buy limit was actually a right choice because I took this point as a resistance point and put my buy limit a little bit lower because oftentimes it tends to break like even further than the resistance point that you have. But here I somehow caught the perfect resistance point at 1.08865 and it's gone up from there. This would have been at least like 10 to 15 cents profit, if not more, if it goes upwards. Depressing, it really is, but happens. And what I take as resistance points is what I said with previous highs, previous lows. The previous lows here I couldn't really use because we're still above like this level of low, but what I could use is this high and this low. They made the perfect block for me to look at. Where do I have forms here? Here. So they created the perfect resistance point, and this was my resistance point. Then I created it between the high here at 1152 and the low at 1215, and gave me a resistance point that hit perfectly in the middle, and from there on has gone upwards. It's going up even more. My position sadly hasn't opened. I don't know why it didn't. Sometimes it just does that. I don't know if it's because of Wi-Fi or what. Okay, this pissed me off right now. Look at how much it's pushing upwards and I didn't get a penny of that. Okay, it happens though. let's not be pissed. Because if you start putting emotion into investing, you're gonna fail most of the times. So why we want to use previous highs and lows. As we can see here, this, to be honest, I can probably take it out now because this was just for this position. Now we want to wait for the next push into the negative. This might already be happening, but I will wait for like the next break. Every candle you see here, by the way, is 1 minute. So every single one of these is 1 minute difference. So as soon as the clock changes from 12:48 to 12:49, we will have another break into another candle. And if you check that in seconds, 1 candle means 1 second. If you put that in hours, 1 candle is 1 hour, and of course that going on in that scheme. So what we want to wait here for is, if we trade in minutes, we can't always be sure of what is going to happen in the next candle. Sometimes we want to wait for what is going to happen, and if the next candle is red again, or if it's green. Because as you can see here, we had green, red, green, red. If it's green again, pushing upwards, and red again, we might have a push upwards. But if this turns to be green but below the red one, and not increase in value, then we will have a negative push. That is for sure, that is bullish, because just like I can explain it in another video, it's really important. So I might be explaining it in the next, but I think we have to pick up a bit more info before I can. We might be able to go through it in the next video, bearish and bullish. But it will be understandable. No, this is bearish. Sorry, bullish would be exactly the other direction. This was bullish, this is bearish because it goes down. Okay, yeah, we will talk about that next time. It's really confusing just listening to it like this. So, where have I been? Yes, profit with highs and lows. They offer very good positions for reversal trades. Reversal trades are what I just tried doing here, trying to tell when the market will reverse its movements into the other direction, like a ping pong ball bouncing off the table, go up again, but of course oftentimes it's going to use the motion that it has picked up from the last push and keep that as the strongest motion that it had, which happens because of news. This was because of a news feed, and from there on it's like throwing a ball upwards. You throw it, as soon as it comes down it bounces. The bounce after that is the highest it goes. After that it just keeps going lower, 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 and from there on you need another new throw, let's call it that. As soon as you get that throw, you oftentimes have news coming in again or something happening. So everything that pushes it so high upwards or so far downwards is just news indicated. If not, it will be like a ping pong ball just losing its movement over the time. So why it's an ideal setup for a reversal trade is because those setups that you get are very very easy to indicate with the highs and lows, because those highs and lows create your resistance points. You can draw them down, you can use rectangles as I just did here, or you can even pick up the nope, the wrong button. You can pick up the line maker, create a line between the points, and have an almost perfect line every time of where it's going to rebound. Let's call it, that's your table, and the actual graph is your ball. So you hit at a point. Wait, where's my pen? Here. The ball gets hit up by news here. It will come down again, hit the table, bounce up, do this, bounce again, and do that oftentimes. only if there's some indicator or something messing with like Euro USD right now. Let's say because it's Euro USD and not just Euro, also the Americans could do something that, or just anyone that uses US dollars, not just, or is it just America? No, Canadians have Canadian dollar, right? Yeah, I think, yeah, Canadian dollar. I have it somewhere. Yeah, okay, not in this list, but as soon as, I don't know, something happens over there, let's say they do something great, then of course Euro is gonna be worth less than dollar in that position, and it's going to drop. And if they do some bullshit, let's say they blow up some monument, then of course Euro is going to be worth more, because what the fuck are they doing over there? Yeah. And in this manner you can follow the graph pretty easily, because it's always going to hit that resistance point if there's no like outer input. And yeah, that's about it. That's highs and lows, that everything you need to look at with highs and lows, and that's everything that's important about highs and lows. Because every time we have indicators like this, we want to use them not just for our beneficial profit in making money at that point, but also for further investments, just for looking at it in the future. Because the longer you're in the game, the easier it's going to get for you, because as soon as you notice schemes in a certain like position, you will notice them more often, like so many times. Let's say this here, if it's your first time, you wouldn't notice that this will happen. It's unlikely, because of course you can't understand some scheme of something that you've never seen before. If you've seen this scheme somewhere, oftentimes, like let's say it's happened here, you've seen it happen, you know, okay, it's going to happen again, then of course you're gonna understand, okay, that's a scheme that might be happening again. Because, wait, let me copy and paste this. As we can see here, it's done it again, but this only happens if you have a high and a low. This doesn't work just for a low or for a high. It's just a middle point of, oh wait, it didn't even happen again. What am I talking about? This might be a new, when it comes down to here, a resistance point between high and low. Okay, this is a between a high and low. We need points that are really close to each other. We can't just use random points. We can't just say, okay, between this and this there will be one here, because this is just like the market has broken through that like 100 times already, so that won't count. But if we use resistance points that have actually confirmed to be in resistance points, let's say this resistance point here has been broken through once by going upwards, yes, but we notice, okay, it worked once, it's gone down from there, then it didn't work. This is just a little swing through, we don't count that. From there on, it's been above, it's swung down, touched, gone up again, so it's another, like, what is it called, another proof for us to count this as a resistance point, because we have, wait, let me indicate this easier. We have one touching the line, going down from there, but might be news indicated, might be anything, broken through. Okay, this is a negative, so we've gone 1 2 2 to 1. It's 2 to 1 for this. So now it's 3 to 1 because the swing has touched, it's gone upwards. Then it's come down again, the swing has touched, and it's gone upwards again, 4 to 1. It's gone downwards. This has broken through a bit. If we make this a block, of course we will see this has broken through a bit too far, but it still has gone upwards from this, but this was only because of the news that happened. So we might call this as an even. Let's not count it. Gone up from there, come down again, touched, 5 to 1 resistance point, that's where we invested. or at least we wanted to invest but didn't open the position, gone upwards from there, might be coming down, might be touching again. If yes, we have another like proof that this is our resistance point. Oh no, not this one, mistake. So I don't know if everybody took a screenshot of it at the start. I put it down an example for like this whole thing, this whole explanation I just gave, because it's a lot of information. My English is not perfect and it can be really confusing, so I put it down on paper. Look at it, it's a bit more cleared out because you don't have all the indicators messing with you, so you just have this looking at it. Of course, if you look at it like this, it's again not as easy because you don't see as many indicators as a beginner. So having your indicators on just as a help is always better, even if you're a pro, because sometimes you just miss little moments that the indicator doesn't miss, because it's just a fact that machines are better than humans in routine things. Of course, they can't be as explicit and think like humans or artificial intelligence, whatever. But in that manner, doing one thing over and over again, a machine will always win, because the machine can always replicate what it has done before. A human can try to replicate it, but will never be 100% equal to what it has done before. It will move different, breathe different, whatever. The heartbeat might be different. That's what doesn't happen with a machine, so having your indicators on is always beneficial. Look at the indicator I put on paper. I might, on the YouTube video, put it on as well, again, as like a whole screen indicator so you can see. Yeah, that's about it. I will, I think, get out of this, maybe put in a position for later on today, selling points, because this will seem like it will preferably push down into negative as my ping pong ball, as I called it before. Put in my short notification here. This is my stop. This is the point I want to get to. And this is where we are right now. So I might be ending, yeah, I think I will be ending the stream right here, talking about rejection candles and how to use the info of pin bar rejections, bearish, bullish, next stream. I have it all prepared already. What the fuck is going on there? You go down again. So we'll talk about this in the next stream, how to use this info, and also pin bar rejection candles. You can look at it, right? Okay, no. Yeah, this is what we will talk about next stream, and I will hope to see you there. We'll put this on YouTube, and until then, thank you for watching. Much love. Peace out. I just want to say I was right, by the way. It's going downwards. Just wanted to add that. See you soon, guys.